Hello, good evening. So we've got Monday's range almost established. We have a few hours to go yet, but we've got a basic blueprint of what Monday's range will be. Looking at the dollar, I'm bullish on the dollar. Nothing's really changed for me fundamentally yet. I just see this as a pullback for another run higher. So we can see every time we've got a push, a pullback, push, pullback. Now we've got a push, and I do believe that this is a pullback in my eyes. So just looking at general support and resistance to come into play. We do have a little bit more to run down into this level, but if we come down and get the reaction that I want, then I'll be looking for buying opportunities in dollar instruments. So let's just go down into the hourly time frame. A few things that we can note. We have this low, which is a previous weekly low. We can also mark out this previous weekly low, and we can also follow the structure down. So what's holding down this market? We have resistance here, we have resistance here, and that could be just something that tells us that we could be breaking to the upside. So if Monday's range obviously needs to finish establishing, we have this high here, we're waiting for the low to be established, but just say it's here, we come down, hit that higher time frame level on Tuesday, break back inside, then we could look for buying opportunities in the dollar in my eyes. So what does that look like for other instruments? Well, let's take a look at the pound. If we go out to the daily, had quite the run on pound in this pullback, but if we look at the overall structure of the market, it's bearish. Fundamentally, I'm still bearish on the pound. Resistance here, and resistance here, and this is where we're hitting. I did have this level marked out on the daily, just because it looks like it's a key level or a key area. Support, resistance. So if we start to break back below this level, I would use that as a guide to get short. So let's just go down into the hourly and take a look at Monday's range. Obviously not yet complete, but we do have some structure on the hourly that we can follow. Say we have Monday's range. If we can come up on Tuesday, break below, break back below this structure, then I'll be looking for selling opportunities in pound. I really do like pound to the downside, but obviously we've been having this pullback for a few weeks, and price action has been quite choppy, and I haven't really took that many trades, to be honest, sitting on the sidelines just waiting for the market to give me what I want to see. And yeah, it feels like it's coming soon on the pound. Another move to the downside. What will negate that is if we start getting a close like this, retest, and then see strength coming in at these levels. But I don't want to be buying straight into previous resistance. So let's take a look at Euro USD. Coming up into a nice area of, we have support here, resistance here, and resistance here, just above parity today. So if we have Monday's range established, come up on Tuesday, hit that, get back below, then I'd be looking for a selling opportunity. I've just marked out this, if we go down into the 2 hour, you can see it, just this pullback structure. Let me highlight that for you. So we're in this channel, support here, resistance, and resistance. Resistance is coming back in here, top of this channel, and at that higher time frame resistance, and that is where I'll be looking for another move to the downside in Euro USD. Let's take a look at Monday's range. I've marked out just the previous weekly high as well, just in case we aren't going to go higher. So I'm just taking this previous Monday high and the previous weekly high. See it's resistance here, and they used it as support today. So if we come back below here, then I'll start hunting shorts. But that's one area where I'd like to, it's just below parity. Or if we come up, sweep this high at that higher time frame resistance and get back below, then I'll be looking for selling opportunities. And that also, let's take a look at Aussie dollar. We've got Aussie dollar coming into some resistance. We've got the dollar coming into some support. So yeah, this looks nice from a technical standpoint. if we go down into the hourly, you can see that I've marked out previous weekly high that I plan on using for some confluence. I just want to mark out Friday's low. We've got some support here and support here. We'll let Monday's range unfold. If we get a quick move up on Tuesday, break structure, get back below previous weekly low, get below Monday's low, or Monday's high, sorry, and previous weekly high, sorry, then I'll be looking for selling opportunities. First up, Monday's low, and then see if we can take out the weekly low. All in all, bearish on this instrument. It's just about timing it. As you can see, over the last few weeks, price action hasn't been very kind at all. It's just been this choppy price action, and yeah, sometimes it's better just to stay out of the market, which I've been doing, but now I'm actively hunting some trades again. Another instrument I like the look of is dollar Swiss. Let's just go out to the daily, and you can see that technically it is coming into an area of previous resistance here, and support. So I'll be looking for any signs of this turning and moving to the upside. We also have, you can see these highs, pretty clean, would act as a nice target, to be honest. So let's go down into the hourly. Let's take a look at structure so far. What's holding down this market? Well, we have, let me take this, resistance, resistance. Monday's low, not yet established, but let's just say it's there. If we can get a move down on Tuesday, back inside, use that as support. We'll also have the added confluence of the higher time frame support, Monday's low as support, and then look to target one, Monday's high, and then look for previous weekly high on the next target. That is if I see what I want to see and we get moving in the direction that I hold in my bias in. A few more instruments. I like the look of Pound New Zealand today come into focus. Let's just take a look at the daily time frame. Overall, we've had a nice run to the downside, but if we can, let me get this into the screen for you. We have support here, run up into this level, I'll follow structure, and then look for another leg lower. If we go down into the hourly, we can see that we left a gap behind just around Monday's low, so we can follow structure like so up into that higher time frame resistance, look to break structure, maybe Monday's high. Let's just say Monday's high finishes here with Monday's range. We come up, we've hit a higher time frame level, we've broke structure to the downside, we've got back below Monday's high, and that's where I would look to sell. Pound New Zealand, come down, fill this gap in at least. Another instrument is Pound Aussie. Exact same trade. Let's go to the daily just to get your higher time frame levels. We have cluster of highs here, resistance, resistance, support, and we're coming up into that area. So I would look at Friday's levels. So let's just go down into the hourly. I would look for a reaction around Friday's levels in confluence with Monday's high. So say Monday's high comes in around here, get a move up on Tuesday, trap a lot of people in long, then we can wait for that break of structure, break back below Friday's high, break back below Monday's high, and then look to sell and fill in this gap and maybe come down and make new weekly lows. So those are the main instruments I like the look of in Forex world. We'll take a quick look at Bitcoin, and we can actually see we have resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and support. So this is a general area of support, and until that breaks, I will not be looking for any selling opportunities. Even though I'm dollar bull, this could be, if I'm wrong, and that's something that I would take to the upside, and maybe it moves to the upside anyway, no matter what the dollar is doing. So that is something that I'd be interested in, just because we have this key level. How I would work that is just look at Monday's range again. We have Monday's low, come down Tuesday, get back inside, and then look to pivot off Monday's low to come up for higher prices. Now if we do start to sell off, let me just go out to the 4 hour. If we do start to sell off and we start breaking structure, so say something like this and get back below, then all longs are off the cards and I will be actively hunting for shorts from here to come down, take out these lows. But at the minute I can't take a short straight into this support. See it here. So it is kind of bullish, so I can play it both ways. If I don't get that dollar strength that I'm looking for, then I'll flip my attention to Bitcoin. So you can just look on the hourly, wait for Monday's range. So something like we've seen before, we've Monday's low here, even though it takes us 2 attempts, get 1, then 2, but once it gets back inside, we get that move to the upside. That's what I'd be looking for. Break back inside and then look for that move. Even if it takes you 2 attempts, you're going to catch the bigger move anyway, so you'll make it back if you are correct on that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Obviously we'll know more tomorrow morning. We do have CPI on Thursday, so markets may chop into that, I'm not too sure, and then we get the movement on Thursday. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at this week. Any trades I take, I'll post into the group, and yeah, hoping for some big moves.